Chief Justice John Roberts, who sided with liberal justices in two other big rulings this month on DACA and LGBT rights, and taking some heat from his fellow conservatives tonight as the Supreme Court strikes down a Louisiana law which would have required doctors who perform abortions in the state to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. 5-4 ruling has abortion rights activists celebrating.
Women have larger access today to make a decision that they know will have the best impact for their lives and the lives of the children they choose or not choose to bring into this world.
Louisiana Senator John Kennedy joins me now. He's a member of the Judiciary Committee. Senator, what is the reaction? What's your reaction? And what's the reaction of the people in your constituency in Louisiana?
The process bothers me as much as the result. The Chief Justice today joined with the 4 liberals on the court to strike down Louisiana's statute. 4 years ago, in a case out of Texas, same statute, same issue, the Chief Justice voted with the conservatives. Today, he voted with the liberals. He changed his vote. He flip-flopped. He flip-flopped like a banked catfish. And that's why I say the process worries me as much as the result. This is why so many people think that our federal courts, our federal judges have become nothing but politicians in robes. Now, the Chief Justice famously says all the time that he's just an umpire. All he does is call balls and strikes.
That's right.
Well, 4 years ago, he called a ball. Today, same pitch. He called a strike. And I don't know what else to say, Martha. Yeah. He just changed his vote with no explanation.
Well, are you concerned, as other conservatives like you are, that this court is overall not as conservative as the presidents who chose these justices might have thought?
Well, the point is that the law is not supposed to be politics practiced a different way. You've got to be consistent. And this, to me, is one more example why the issue of abortion should not be in the court system. It ought to be in front of state legislatures and the United States Congress. Nobody in their right mind believes that in 1787, when the people voted, or the drafters drafted the Constitution, and the people voted on the Constitution, that they intended to include the right to an abortion. The Constitution doesn't even mention abortion.
True.
And that's why the courts look, they just look inauthentic when they play politics like that.
I want to ask you about another topic, which is this intelligence that the Russians put a bounty through the Taliban on American lives. And the president said he wasn't briefed on it. We now know that as of this evening, he has now been briefed on this issue. Here's Nancy Pelosi talking about this. Watch this.
This is as bad as it gets. And yet the president will not confront the Russians on this score, denies being briefed. Whether he is or not, his administration knows. Just as I've said to the president, with him, all roads lead to Putin. I don't know what the Russians have on the president politically, personally, financially, or whatever it is.
What do you expect the president to do now that he's seen this intelligence?
Well, the speaker says that Putin is blackmailing President Trump. You know, you can only be young once, but you can always be immature. The speaker's made a number of sophomoric observations like that, and I think we just have to ignore. I don't know what the facts are here. Everybody's getting all lathered up over a story that appeared in the New York Times. Now, we have no indication, no evidence that the story is accurate. We all know, any fair-minded person knows, that the New York Times hates Republicans. The New York Times would support a dead raccoon over a Republican if the raccoon had a D behind its name.
Well, we know that they had their reporting wrong on the Russian hoax, as it was called, for several years. So I think a bit of circumspect approach to this is wise.
I want to get briefed.
And we'll see what the president comes forth with after this briefing. There's a lot of questions about why he wouldn't have been briefed on this, but I know Rick Grinnell, who was DNI at the time, said that he was also not briefed on it. So it looks like it may have been percolating at levels that did not rise to that, at least in terms of what they knew and what they didn't know at that point. But anyway, the story leaked. So unfortunately, as Adam Kinzinger, I heard him say moments ago, he said, so unfortunately, we may not learn much more about it because it was leaked before they were able to follow through on these leads on this intelligence. So we'll see where it goes. Senator, thank you. Always good to see you.
Martha.
Thanks for being here tonight.